Following segment is sponsored by Segelke Financial Group. I'll be the first to say it. I make mistakes, we all do, but mistakes when planning for retirement can be very costly. Author and radio host Jeff Segelke is here to share some of the common mistakes that people make when planning for retirement, and most of all, how to avoid them. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us.
So great to be here with you. And yes, we all make mistakes, right? In everything we
Many.
do. And with money, we tend to make mistakes. You know, maybe we overspend a little bit at Starbucks every month. Maybe we overspend on our clothing and other things. But with retirement planning, I've been doing this now for 20 years, and I've met with thousands of people, and I get to see all the mistakes, sadly, that people make. And so I want to go over a few of those. And in my book, I actually have a chapter on this where I go over some of the pitfalls that I've seen people make and how to avoid them.
Okay, I'm listening, because I think I've already made a mistake. I don't have a retirement fund. I'm not planning.
That's a mistake. We need to
number
start.
One.
You know, first step is starting. Yes.
Okay,
Start saving,
good
start
start
investing
here.
for the future. As you get into and get closer to retirement, you've also got to start thinking about your longevity. One of the things I've seen is that people don't plan for how long they're going to live. I had a gentleman who called me up from my radio show, and he said he ran out of money at age 80.
That's the scariest thing.
And so he's 80 years old and he's out of money, and he said, well, I didn't think I was going to live past age 80. And so I understand that, but we don't know how long we're going to live. So you've got to plan for longevity. You've got to plan to live a long time and make sure your money lasts as long as you do. So that's pitfall number one.
Number one, make sure that you have enough money.
Yes. Number two, inflation. We've got to plan for inflation. What's inflation? Inflation is basically just that things get more expensive over time, right?
Right.
We see that costs go up. We've got to plan for that. So if I need $5,000 a month today, 10 years from now, I'm going to need $6,000 or $7,000 a month just to match today's dollars.
Which is so hard because wages aren't going up while you're making them. So you got to make sure that you can, it's so tricky.
So you've got to plan for that and make sure you have investments that are increasing over time and keeping up with inflation. So that's another one. Another one I see is that people are too conservative. They have all their money sitting in cash, in the bank, in their savings account, in CDs. And long term, that's not even beating inflation. That's not growing at a good rate. And so you're going to run out of money just because you aren't growing your money enough.
So you can be too cautious and too careful.
So too cautious. Last one I want to share today, being too aggressive. So that happens as well. I met with a gentleman. He took all of his money and put it all into a few stocks. And the wife told me the sad story. He picked some bad stocks, lost 90% of his portfolio. He had $1 million, lost $900,000 because he picked the wrong stocks.
And just like that, your retirement fund gone.
Just like that.
All of that saving, all of that hard work.
So being too aggressive, just like being too conservative, can be a detriment. So you've got to find that balance, and how you do that is you find a professional, a financial professional.
This guy right here.
Somebody who can help you figure out how should you be invested, should you be conservative, should you be aggressive, should you be somewhere in the middle. How should you be invested to make sure your money lasts for your lifetime, that it's keeping pace with inflation, and that you don't run out of money.
Well, and the good news is that you made us a blueprint right here. And what I love is that this isn't too intimidating. Like it's not a massive book that you're going to think, okay, I'm never going to be able to get all this knowledge. You can read this. This is doable for everybody.
So my book is called Retire Today, and it's all about how do you figure out how to retire today. It is a blueprint on how to do it. And a couple of things I'm going to do. Anybody who calls into us today and mentions Fresh Living, I'm going to send you a free chapter from our book about these pitfalls. And then anyone who registers for one of our upcoming workshops that are teaching you about Social Security and retirement planning and tax planning, we're going to give you a free copy of this book. So call us today, register for a class, and we'll give you one of our books.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you.